I thought of you, Steve, because of the Laramie Tunsil pot video, because a few years ago you drafted Honey Badger. And I said on the air at the time, don't do it. Don't do it. The kid's judgment. And he has been an emotional and a physical leader for you as a player. He's been an absolute home run. You rolled the dice. My bad, you were right. Now, Steve, what goes into the thinking when you know a kid's maybe smoked some recreational pot and you see that kids, they've made mistakes before the draft?
Well, there's no doubt that this is a process, and it starts in May the previous year, and you get to know these young men not only as players but as people. And I've said this many times over and over that we miss more on the person in the evaluation process than we miss on the player. And really, it starts with passion and love for the game. There's a tremendous amount of players in the draft who have made mistakes, as we all have in our lives. And I think more than anything, you treat it as an individual case by case, and you go deep into it, and you get to know the person. And in Tyron's case, we got to know him as a person, spend a significant amount of time with him, just like we did Robert Kimdiche, our first-round pick. And you want to know if those players are remorseful. You want to know if they can look back on the mistakes they've made and understand the ramifications. And how are they going to make it in the rearview mirror? How are they going to change their life? And if they have passion and they have love for the game, you certainly have a chance to steer them in the right direction.
Yeah, no, and it's really, I'm a dad, Steve, and I'm sure you are as well. And boy, culture's changed. I mean, I can't get the phone out of my daughter's hand. I'm from a state, Washington State, where marijuana is legal. I just don't think I'm as rigid as my dad was, and that's not a criticism of my father. The world's changed. Do you sometimes think to yourself, hey, these are 21-year-old guys. What they're doing now is what 21-year-olds are doing?
There's no doubt. There's no doubt times have changed. And you think back to when I started scouting, and if a player failed a marijuana test at his college, a lot of times those players had a red flag, and in a lot of cases they were taken off our board. Nowadays, I don't want to say it's much more acceptable, but it's much more common. And again, it goes back to, does that make them a bad person? No. It means that they have made a mistake, and we have to figure out if they're going to turn their life around, and they're going to answer the bell. And in a lot of these cases, some of these guys don't, and it follows them throughout their career, and it minimizes the time that they spend in the National Football League.